Now, the National Association of Academic Technologists Leadership has called on President Bola Tinubu to expedite action on the new national minimum wage for workers. The president of the association, Nwokoma, in a statement says the union is worried over the continuous delay by the president in transmitting the new national minimum wage bill to the National Assembly. The union condemned the unpatriotic position of state governors in solid terms, claiming the inability to pay even the $62,000 proposed by the federal government. However, it was rejected by the organized labor. The NAAT president also called on the federal government to immediately implement the payment of the withheld salaries of his members and the resolutions of all other outstanding issues. Well, for more, let's bring in Nwokoma, who's the president of the National Association of Academic Technologies Information. He's live with me here in the studio. It's good to see you, and thanks for your time. You know, we have a potpourri of issues here. The president is going to meet with Labour on Thursday. But again, before we get to that aspect, let's talk about what you call the withheld salaries of your members.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. By 2022, all the university-based unions, National Association of Academic Technologists, ASU, NASU, and SANU, went on strike that lasted for almost 8 months, depending on the union. My union was a part of that strike action. Ours was from March 2022 till August, when it was suspended. And the then government of Alhaji Mohammed Buhari invoked the no work, no pay rule and insisted that we were not going to be paid. And of course, ours amounts to 5.5 months of salaries that the date is not yet paid. But suffice it to say that that work for which the salaries are being withheld had already been done by our members. Practicals have been done, results submitted, students graduated, and so we are saying that there's no reason whatsoever to still continue to withhold the salaries. And surprisingly too, in October last year, we were told by Ngelari that the president had granted a waiver for payment of 4 months of salaries to all the university staff that embarked on that strike action. But we are surprised that only a particular members of staff belonging to a union were paid, leaving out our members, SANU and NASU members. Until that has not been paid.
You know, we've had this conversation here. I've had this conversation here in the studios with the SANU group. But you're saying your body, that's the NAAT, is also amongst those who were captured in this no work, no pay rule, and you have a waiver by the president. So as we speak, who is in charge of this communication? Because you may have reached out to the government of President Bola Tinubu to see how your members can have this sorted out.
Well, our parent body is the supervisory body for education is NUC, but remember also that we have met with Minister of Education on several occasions during the stakeholders meeting, and when we embarked on 3 days warning strike in March, from 20th of March. For 3 days, we had a nationwide protest. After that, we also met with the Minister of Education, and we were given assurances that this money will be paid. That same March, we were called by the National Assembly, the House of Rep, the Committee on University Education, called us for a meeting and gave us assurances and said that we should give them till April. And till date, nothing has happened.
You know, now the president is going to meet with the unions, and that's more like an exciting kind of news. Not going through any of his representatives, but meeting with the unions on Thursday. And your body, which is also within the education space, should have a conversation with the minister. Since the April deadline, which has since elapsed, has there been any kind of communication thereafter concerning this particular issue?
Yes, sometime last week, I spoke with the Minister of Education for State, and he told us that something was being done. He told me personally, during a television conversation, that he was at the Ministry of Finance, that they were doing something. But my brother, payment of the withheld salary is not rocket science. It's not something that will last for months. We want to believe that if government is serious with this payment, that by now this ought to have been paid. And that's why, arising from our ESCO meeting, National ESCO meeting, that we are giving government till the end of July. Our next meeting will be starting from 31st of this month. And after that meeting, I'm assuring you that we cannot guarantee industrial harmony in the universities.
But you have a fair conversation with the Minister of State for Education. You say you, and he assured you. Why are you still skeptical or being a Thomas to this conversation you had with the Minister for Education?
Because this thing is a recurring decimal. We've had these promises, we have had these assurances over time, and it never materialized. And if that is like a recurring decimal, then you and I know that it's something that we have lost trust. We have lost that confidence.
But with the latest conversation now coming from the presidency, latest communication rather, are you optimistic that this just might sail through for you and your members?
Yeah, I'm optimistic, but we are saying that it is not rocket science. Like I said before, we are giving government 2 weeks, 14 days, between now and the 31st of this month to get these things sorted out. If it's not sorted out, and then we will not have any of the option, because our members have been taken for granted. We have been pushed to the wall.
Is it the same vibe you're getting within the states? Because you also spoke where you, in strong terms, condemned some of the comments coming from the Nigeria Governors Forum, when some have said they can't pay the 62,000 naira. You were very, very strong on that, saying that this shouldn't be. Now, let us in on what informed your, decision or your belief that that comment coming from the governors isn't sufficient.
My brother, you know that there is no state in Nigeria that cannot pay minimum wage of 100,000 naira, 150,000, and Labour is asking for 250,000 naira. With the removal of fuel subsidy, between when there was fuel subsidy and when it was removed, what federal government and the states used to share has increased from billions to trillions. And what we are saying is, where these trillions are going to? Is it not the state government that are getting this money? So why are they pretending that they cannot pay minimum wage beyond 62,000 naira? They can. Every state can afford it if they close the leakages. There's no state of the federation that cannot pay. That's what we're saying. And we're saying that it is not proper, because they are taking workers for granted, because they are not doing the right thing. That's what we're saying, that you can't say that you cannot pay. There's no state government that cannot pay if things are done properly.
If things are done properly. And let's close on what you call the unpatriotic position of state governors. It comes back to how you highlighted this belief of every state in Nigeria being able to pay more than 62,000 naira. Speak to us more, if you will, on what you expect of the states to shore up their revenue. Should they finally go up with this number?
Yeah, well, what we're saying clearly is that, one, apart from the oil producing states, there's no state that does not generate internally generated revenue. There's no state in Nigeria that don't have one thing or the other. It's just that every day, every time we run to Abuja to share this thing, and so many things have been neglected. And President Tinubu has also promised that they are going to pay living wage. 62,000 naira is less than the price of a bag of rice. And that cannot be living wage. There's no worker that can earn 62,000 naira and use it to buy a bag of rice and still feed the family. You and I know that. So what we're insisting is that Nigeria is ripe. Nigerian worker that generates this money, that is the engine room of the economy, deserves the best. And 62,000 naira is not the best.
Ibeji Nwokoma, it's a delight speaking with you on Newsnight. We'll stay on this and see how it pans out. Many thanks again.